Well, will you look at that? We actually see a hateful face we hope we will never see again. And this is making me very worried. Very, very, very worried. And I'm not talking about some trauma that might resume here, because that is something that definitely will happen. No, I'm talking about the change in personality will become even easier now than we see something like that appearing. To be honest, I actually didn't see this coming. I mean, I would have wished for that guy to come back only so we could kill him, because that guy is complete and utter scum. Still, though, this was unexpected, and if nothing, it for me that just further shows that Siggy may be even more sadistic now than ever. Yes, this is me, the angry anime fan, the semi-retired despair reviewer, although I nowadays only review Eden Zero Chapter 1 to Chapter 1. Well, either way, this is Chapter 121. First off, a little adorable page about Wise being hugged by Hermito. You know, a lot of people ship them. I, for one, do not ship them, but it's not because Hermito looks like a little girl. She is actually older than Wise, but nah, it's not for that. I just feel like they're more like a little brother, big sister. Yeah, I consider Wise to be the little brother, even though he looks older than her, because I consider that dynamic of it all. But they are a dynamic duo. Although by the end of this chapter, something tells me that is going to be at risk. Either way, the chapter starts with the fact that Rebecca, it turns out, had been ended up in a clothing store because it's part of the electric store. So she buys the money. Well, no, she buys the clothes even though she technically didn't have to, which is for 43,000 glee. Which, yeah, that is kind of ouch. So after that, she decides to test exactly how her cat leaper power is. She says to Pino to write a letter, and she will guess what it is. She guesses apple, but it's actually human that Pino wrote. She really does want to be human, huh? So, and then suddenly, Rebecca activates Sleeper and goes back a couple of seconds. And here is actually something that is pretty, for the first time, acceptable, and that is she now wears sandals, mind you, and the sandals do not get destroyed, because now she has always taken off her shoes when she has used Cat Leaper, because uh, she always gets barefooted because of the ether of it all. But this time it seems that the sandals did not. So are we saying that it is mostly only clothing is there? Either way, she goes back a couple of seconds of the time when they don't see any salesperson. So she resumes the thing, well, by giving Pino a word thing place saying write the words and she can guess what it is. And this time she guesses it's human, and she was correct because that's just how it is. So she tries to do that one more time. However, this time something very strange happened to her. She um, she starts to experience extraordinary amount of headache, and what is even scarier is that part of her face cracks. You know, this is almost like a space-time continuum when the area around space cracks open. It actually turns out to just become temporarily, at least what I think, but it shows that she cannot use the power of Leaper or Cat Leaper a lot. As the wound closes, she goes over for what she has learned, and that is turning back a few seconds is the only power she has complete control over, because she can control back. She describes it like it creates a point where it works like an anchor. I can't go back farther than that, and it takes a lot of out of her. Therefore, she cannot use it multiple times in a row. And when she used Cat Leaper to go back a whole week, that was an entirely different type of power, because that power didn't hurt. That means the power of Leaper uh, and Cat Leaper are actually completely different. She calls this reverse. This power to go back a few seconds as reverse. Um, and So this should actually satisfy all the haters. This confirms again Rebecca's power may be story breaking, but she cannot break it too much because if she uses it, she will break. Although we do not know why she breaks through it. But this also shows that the power of Cat Leaper may not fully be awakened. I mean, yes, Draken Sis is awakened. What I mean by that is she could the true power of Cat Leaper allowed her to practically jump into a new world. This time she only seems to be able to reverse time just a little bit. So I don't think that's a new world. She has apparently done that before, according to Noah. We just haven't seen it. And and each time she has forgotten. This time she has not forgotten it. And she remembers the sensation of when Cat Leaper leaped back weak, meaning that the true Cat Leaper, is a power that can control time, but she herself cannot use it yet, because that is happening. Nor can she use reverse for a very long time either, because if she does, she breaks apart as well. Sorry, meaning she has to be careful. So resumes that experiment. Elsewhere, Homura is taking a nice bath in the spring while Shiki is sticking behind a tree and is saying they have to get aware, but she also feels alive. And now Homura and Shiki really have a moment here. This almost feels like a ship, which I really like. She asks if they always will be together. Also, this does make me worried also, because, well, is death on the air? She is because I really hope the manga is not going to become that dark. She's saying that and she's saying that Shiki and the others are the first friends she has ever had, and she's very fond of them, which everyone agree. But then she actually drops one very strange thing that I'm not even sure I thought of, and that is, what if Mother can only grant one wish? We suppose we still be friends because, after all, everyone has a different wish. Granted, some has pretty weak wishes, like Wise, she just wants a bunch of money. Although, to be honest, if I could get a bunch of money, I would have wished for that too. Only because, not to buy a new house or anything, but just so I wouldn't have to worry about never getting a new job. And Happy wants to wish for fish, which, by the way, I feel like also is a pretty lame one. Rebecca just wants to wish for 1,000 subscribers, which is also kind of a weak ability. I mean, I would have wished for that too, but I'm not talented, so I cannot wish for that. And the same thing is apparently happening to Rebecca. She is not good enough in that skill, so she probably shouldn't wish for it. Only Shiki and Homura's and Pino's wishes is the one that sounds most thing. Shiki wishes at first to be, well, Mother's friend, but now he also wants to restore Norma, and who knows, maybe even restore the robots there. Homura wants to meet her mentor again, and to be honest, that's what I also want. And Pino wants to become human. In that case, we could say that Pino's wish is the strongest. Still, if Mother only can grant one wish, then yeah, we have something to do. So even though Shiki jokes by saying, well, we're saying have a battle royale, but Shikia says, I don't want to make a wish. My friends are more important. Of course, he stared at her when that happened. But then suddenly, as we do see a nice backside and a lot of nice body on Homura, suddenly they detect something. Three new guys heading this way. And now things gets really annoying. As it turns out that the Beast Squad has actually groups. Turns out that the squad that was sent here first was number 6. And now number 1 is here. Come on! Don't throw more powerful people at us, because that will only make their future defeat all the more unacceptable in people's eyes. Not to mention, two of these guys looks pretty alien. Once again, implying that Hiromashima do not like aliens. And if you ask me, that is a very, very bad thing. Is Yes, he may have made a robot a main antagonist, but the thing is that so far no alien has been portrayed as a good guy yet, or at least on the side of the allies. And if you ask me, that is very, very dangerous because it tells a lot of him, Hiromashima, as a character. So I'm just saying. And apparently these two, we don't hear the names of these two yet, although the one guy looks like a Tengu. At first I thought that was a Tengu face, but now it appears to be a Tengu mask. Another guy, how can I describe him? Well, he has a hero-like mask, but it almost looks like he has a bug-like face. Think about it. If Shiki feels like that is a bug, is he gonna freak out? Or is that a cyborg face? Who knows? But it looks alien-like. The other guy, well, he looks a little bit human, although his mouth is a bit. They're saying they should capture Shiki for Lord Shura. Why would Shura be so interested in seeing Shiki? Are you telling me that, what, is that guy somehow depraved bisexual? Or is that the fact that Shura is just the kind of guy I suspect him to be? A guy who will not accept anyone having the same power as him? Well, the end of the chapter is the gang cleaning up the things as everyone, as Wise and Hermito lands, and saying that as Hermit creates a little bad moments joke, she says she has antivirus shield on, but we can't be too careful as the virus is being updated in real life. She does says to Wise that if she goes berserk, do destroy her, which Wise says that he will not do because he will save her with his power. Of course, Homer is saying, says the guy who cannot even do programming, but he says to do it feel. But then the chapter ends with the one most unexpected of faces. As I expected, someone is guarding the satellite. But the one who is guarding it is someone I was not expecting. As he suddenly appears, he laughs, saying the Skullbot was right, and said, I was waiting to meet you here because I missed you. Spoke the truth. It is nice to see you, my darling piece of junk. Would you like to continue being our experiment? As we see a robotic body wielding the face of Dr. Muller. Yes, that scum has returned. Either this robot somehow can create a face out of someone's worst fear, or Dr. Muller somehow was transformed into a robot. And well, him becoming a robot after mistreating a robot, if you think about it, that is karma. That is really karma. However, seeing him again, seeing the one that broke the cheerful Hermito and made her misanthropic, it's very likely she will become misanthropic again. Or is he appearing here for her to overcome her past truly? Again, she has a powerful friend with Wise here. But will that really be enough? And also, if Siggy can somehow turn humans into robots, then damn, that is sadistic. Yes, I said it before. Dr. Muller deserves this every ounce of the way because that just shows his depravity. Because he's turned into the one thing he hates, really, Although it does seem apparent that he hasn't changed a single bit since becoming this robot, which makes me wonder, is this involuntary or is this voluntarily? Well, it doesn't matter. All that matters is he has appeared again, and it is scary. If this robot is doing the sadistic face thing, or is this really is him? Well, right now, we're saying it's him. And I am worried about Hermito. I really hope the virus will not get to them. So that's basically the chapter. Again, it's not really one of my toppest. Most of it all, I mean, I liked the cat libra thing. I liked the moment between Hermito and Wise, and I liked the moment between Shiki and Homura. But I did not like that Beast has another more powerful squad. Because now it almost sounds like the team is going to lose, and I do not want them to lose! Dr. Muller's return, though, that was a surprise. I'm not sure what I can say about that. I am worried. That's what I can say. But I'm worried for Hermit, though. But if it is him and controlling the satellite in a way that strangely makes sense. The guy was a misanthropic robot hater, and now he is the virus, or one of the one that's making the virus that's making robots hate humans just as much. The same. It's almost even that is dramatic karma for me. Well, who knows? Give me your thoughts if you have any.